Another episode here of Training Camp Live. Nick Harris alongside Patrik No-C Walker here on DallasCowboys.com. Rams, Cowboys joint practice here in front of us. A little bit of red zone work going on now as Dak Prescott and the first team, they just got done with some reps. Patrik, what stood out to you early on so far?
Well, so far it looks like Jake Ferguson is back to his dominating ways, rolling over from 2023, but also just the fact that Dak Prescott looks so comfortable. Even the running game, they're taking some strides with the running lanes being open.
Here's Cooper Rush. He finds Malik Davis down on the screen, dumps it off, and Davis is able to find some space and get into the end zone. A little bit of maybe some pushing and shoving there on the back end. It's been a little bit of chippiness on the Cowboys versus Rams offense versus defense. I don't know what's going on that side of the field. You've been over there a little bit more, huh?
Well, it's definitely chippy on both sides of the field, but a lot of it is coming from a guy like Brock Hoffman. He is a lunch pail guy, as Stephen Jones describes him, and he loves getting in there, getting his hands dirty, and you kind of love seeing that from a center.
Yeah, and the center here is Cooper Beebe, number 56 right there in the interior, helping call out some things pre-snap, continuously getting better as training camp powers on, and especially with these shotgun snaps, that's the big thing to look at. Cooper Rush looking to the left side, finds John Stevens Jr. in the middle of a bunch of Rams as a couple of them hit their fists on the ground thinking they could have had that ball. That was a good ball from Rush.
John Stevens Jr. picking up on where he left off before he tore his ACL last August. This is going to be an important training camp as far as getting him back up to speed. He's put on some muscle mass, lean muscle as he describes it, so that he can be better at contested catches.
Yeah, good day so far for John Stevens Jr. about halfway through the joint practice. Here's Cooper Rush in the shotgun once again. Looks like there was some jumping on the offensive line. Free play, and it's knocked away over the middle of the defense. That was Troy Reeder on the deflection over the middle, but it would have been a free play anyway.
You know, something to keep an eye on here, Nick, is the fact that while Cooper Beebe is taking snaps at center here, in combo drills in the previous period, he was over there getting left guard drills. So I wonder if he's going to see some reps at left guard in the preseason opener against the Rams, but curious how the Cowboys are going to manage that considering he does need reps at center.
Bulk of his experience at Kansas State in college was at the guard position. Cowboys looking to transition him to that center position, as you said, Patrik. Here's Cooper Rush again, alone in the backfield. He's looking across the middle of the field to his right side. It's deflected, and it's intercepted. That's Troy Reeder again, who was able to come in and make the interception off the ground. Really good play there by Reeder, but it was the deflection that made it possible.
It was great coverage, and he was right there on Cam Johnson's hip pocket, but you would love to see Cam Johnson put a little bit more effort, maybe come forward a little bit. Got to help the quarterback out there to prevent that tip drill from being possible, and then the interception wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, rookie undrafted free agent Cam Johnson on the receiving end out of Northwestern, spent some time at Minnesota. The first team offense back on the field. You see at left tackle, Awesome Richards has been getting a lot of work today on the left side. He's been going up against first-round pick Jared Verse. Here's Dak Prescott trying to dump it off to Zeke Elliott, but it was tipped at the line. Looked like Kobe Turner got a hand on it.
And you speak about Awesome Richards. If you go back and look at that particular play, he did a great job of walling off his would-be pass rusher, and that included two moves. The speed rush failed, and then the spin move was the second attempt, and that was walled off as well. So good rep there by Awesome Richards.
Kobe Turner, the second-year defensive tackle out of Wake Forest. As this is a running play up the middle. A lot of bodies in there. Ezekiel Elliott trying to just squeeze out some yardage.
You know, that play notwithstanding, for the most part, the Cowboys' offensive line has been dictating in this just joint practice with the Rams as far as being able to open up run lanes and also in pass protection. But if they can continue to do this as the season goes on, it's got to make you feel good about how the run game can take a step forward this year.
Yeah, this is probably your best look here in the preseason / training camp at this first-team offense. You see this offensive line on the field right now. You probably have 4 of 5 Week 1 starters up front, Tyler Guyton withstanding. Dak Prescott alone in the backfield. He's going to look left, look right. He's trying to get it to Brandon Cooks. What a grab there from the Archer. The 11th-year man draped with Kobe Durant over him. He's able to make the catch for the touchdown.
Cooks is in the kitchen, folks. Cooks is in the kitchen. This is not a drill. You know, we talk a lot about, and rightfully so, Jalen Brooks, Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Cropper, Tyron Billy Johnson. These younger guys. Fuller had a fantastic catch earlier in the joint practice. But don't forget about Brandon Cooks. He continues to show why he's one of the top targets for Dak Prescott this season.
I think sometimes you can forget about the most consistent guy, right? Just because he comes out each and every day with the same intention, same intensity. So here's a handoff to the left side to Rico Dowdle. Hoffman trying to pave the way. And now Body's trying to get up. Good show of sportsmanship there from Hoffman and Kobe Turner, who had a little bit of words earlier, so good to see them shaking hands.
For now.
For now.
Put a pin in that. Let's see how the next rep goes as far as sportsmanship is concerned.
Now TJ Bass in the game at right guard. You see number 66 there coming in for Zach Martin. Dak Prescott in the backfield with Ezekiel Elliott. Or excuse me, that's Rico Dowdle in the backfield. Here's Dak. He's looking to his left side, trying to find Jalen Tolbert, and Tolbert could not come up with the catch. That's probably one he should have brought in.
Absolutely, and it is one of the few plays that he's not been able to make for Dak Prescott over the course of training camp, but that's one that he's going to sleep hard on tonight and wish that he had that back.
Now, if you're trying to get a little bit of a preview for what Sunday could look like, here's Trey Lance coming onto the field, getting his first red zone work. Really big opportunity. Started at the beginning of training camp for Lance, but it's going to really continue into the preseason. See, hands off here. That's to Snoop Connor, and blown up immediately. Really good play there from Troy Reeder. Once again, Reeder's been all over the place here in this red zone set.
You could say he's reading the offense pretty well, I suppose.
Something like that.
But you know, Snoop Connor, he's doing better and better at taking advantage of the opportunities he's being given, especially with Royce Freeman dealing with that groin injury. And it's going to be interesting how this running back's depth chart shakes out.
Now it's Tyron Billy Johnson in the backfield with him. Trey Lance is trying to find him. He does find him in a big hit over on the side. There's Cameron Kitchens, the third round pick out of the University of Miami. He was known for laying big hits in college, and there's his first one here in this joint practice.
I tell you what, Nick, we've now seen the cooks and we've seen the kitchen, and it is really spicy out here with this joint practice. We talked with Mike McCarthy about the intensity being ratcheted up. That's exactly what both sides want to see, and then, of course, nothing broke out as far as scuffle afterwards, so that's just good hard football is what that is.
Here's Trey Lance once again. That's play action. He's trying to look to the left side. Probably an RPO there, and he finds John Stevens for the touchdown. Really good read there from Trey Lance to be able to find his man.
And I love more and more how we are beginning to see and it beginning to manifest that John Stevens Jr. is, in fact, going to be a red zone threat for the Cowboys offense in 2024, regardless of what team he's playing with, practices, third, second, first team with Dak during regular season games. So he's progressing well.
That's all for the red zone portion here on Training Camp Live. Stick around. Nicole Hutchison will be back for some more team drills. Thank you, Patrik Walker.
It's always fun.
Welcome back into Training Camp Live here on DallasCowboys.com. Nick Harris alongside Nicole Hutchison as we have the Cowboys offense driving down the field on the Rams defense. We get a look at the first team offense first here in this drill. It's going to be a handoff to Zeke Elliott over to the left side. Really good job there by Troy Reeder. We talked a lot about him in the last drill, him having a lot of red zone action, and he's there for the run stop there.
Go, Zeke. Gotta love Zeke, though, just obviously finding that running lane. He had a fumble earlier, but that was obviously something that you don't want to see in practice, but a good run lane for him.
As they will be moving from the opposing 40-yard line to the 15-yard line here in this drill. You see Dak Prescott play action over to the left side to Jake Ferguson. A little bit of RPO action as he puts Tre'Davious White into the turf. Or into the grass, I guess I should rather say, here at the River Ridge Complex in Oxnard.
Doing his best Gavin Escobar impression.
Really good work there from Jake Ferguson. A lot of building momentum and building chemistry between him and Dak Prescott so far at camp, as Dak remains in the backfield, this time with Rico Dowdle. Awesome Richards there at left tackle. We've seen him rotate in more than Chuma Edoga, as Edoga's been battling a little bit of an injury as camp has gone on. Probably want him healthy in case he needs to take reps on Sunday. As here's Dak looking for some options. He dumps it down to Rico Dowdle.
Awesome.
Just for a minimal gain.
Awesome Richards there. They tried to do a little puller there, and that's something that you definitely want to see. They do creativity within this offensive line, and Awesome Richards, I feel like, he can really take a huge step this year.
And Rico Dowdle really starting to build some confidence here at camp as well. Not only in the receiving game, but in the running game as well. Here's Luke Schoonmaker on the field. Good to see him back and healthy after battling a little bit of a groin injury over the course of the last week. As Cowboys will regroup in the huddle and then go back up to the line, it's going to be Dak Prescott under center. You see TJ Bass there at right guard in place of Zach Martin. As this practice goes on, the veteran watching from the sideline a little bit more. Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield. And it's going to be a handoff to Zeke to the right side. He had a big hole. TJ Bass and Brock Hoffman combining for that big hole there on the right side. Really love to see that from a pair of undrafted free agents that the Cowboys have found.
For sure, a run you want to see it coming from Zeke, especially with the whole battle with this running back room. Certainly going to be very crucial for those guys to really step up today.
Offensive line definitely a big part of the running back success, whether that be the running back by committee approach that happens in 2024 or whatever else could happen. Here's Dak Prescott to the left side. Quick dump off to Brandon Cooks, but it was easily snuffed out by the Rams defense.
I don't know about you, but Brock Hoffman able to get to the second level there. It was very key for that run to happen.
And Brock Hoffman, been hearing a lot from Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy, offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer, but how much improved he is this time around in training camp compared to his first Cowboys training camp this time last year. So here's Dak Prescott in the backfield, this time with Hunter Lipke. As Dak's looking to the left side, he's got Tyron Billy Johnson on a comeback route and puts it right between his numbers. And there's Billy Johnson right in front of you. He's had a good camp, a quiet last couple of days, but that veteran, he's going to be able to stack some consistency heading into the preseason today.
Tyron Billy Johnson fighting for a spot on that wide receiver depth chart. There's only about 5 or 6 guys that typically get chosen on that wide receiver depth chart, so every rep is very key for him. Something that Mike McCarthy has preached about all camp long.
Here's Dak again to the right side. There's Jake Ferguson once again. Trusted target that he has become here at camp, and now we got some scuffling.
We got
a little bit of a fight as the sidelines have cleared. It looks like it's going to get broken up rather quickly. I missed who was right in the middle of that.
Looked like Tyler Smith. Looked like it.
Yeah, Tyler Smith in there. Awesome Richards. He's been exchanging some words throughout the day as well.
I know Mike McCarthy is not going to be happy about that one.
Just a healthy skirmish. Nothing too crazy.
Doesn't hurt.
And these things are bound to happen here at joint practices. I think for both teams, it's more about not letting it boil over and turn into punches being thrown. Just some pushing and shoving there for a little bit. Not too bad for the spirit heading into the preseason.
Just excited to, get some action against another team, right?
Here's Cooper Beebe at center, and you have Dakota Shepley playing at left guard. We've seen him mostly play a lot of center reps, but getting some left guard work here with Cooper Rush at quarterback, and that's going to be a handoff to the right side. Couldn't quite find a lot of room, trying to seek through the numbers to try to find who took the carry. That was Snoop Connor, the Ole Miss product.
I feel like that running back room is very interesting to watch, and you see, Zeke obviously and Rico splitting those first team reps, but Malik Davis, you see him in there. You see Snoop Connor, Royce Freeman. That third and fourth position is going to be very key for those guys.
Here's Cooper Rush now in the backfield with Malik Davis. Fourth-year undrafted free agent running back from the University of Florida, and it's going to be a handoff to Davis to the right side. Davis trying to find a little bit of room. Now, he could have some big playmaking opportunities in the preseason. Really big opportunity for Davis. Now we got some words between Alec Holer and Bobby Brown III. Just a little bit of pushing and shoving still here in the second and third unit. And these guys are trying to fight for roster spots. Obviously, the intensity is a little bit higher in an environment like this, especially against other teams. This is where they can really put themselves on the map. So here's Cooper Rush dropping back. He's looking to the left side, and he's finding Ryan Flournoy, the 6th-round rookie draft pick out of Southeast Missouri State. He's had a really good day out here in this joint practice. And here's Dak Prescott back with the first team. Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield with him. That's going to be a play action to Elliott. Prescott's going to be looking to the right side to Jalen Tolbert, and Tolbert's able to get his feet in for the reception. Really good comeback route there from Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert, while he did have a bad drop in the end zone earlier in red zone work, he has had an otherwise pretty solid day. So he's looking to further stamp his claim as wide receiver 3 on this team. It's now Rico Dowdle in the backfield with Dak Prescott. Jalen Crawford, Tyron Billy Johnson, and Jalen Brooks on the field, but it's going to be a handoff instead. Yeah, it's just a minimal gain there in the middle of the offensive line.
That was all Tyler Smith right there, opening that hole for Rico Dowdle to make that happen.
And we have more words exchanged here.
Getting
Just
a little
trying
chippy.
to- yeah, a little
But you
bit.
love to see it, though.
You see Jared Verse, number 8, the first-round draft pick for the Los Angeles Rams here on the edge. And he's gotten a couple of wins, but I think Tyler Smith is trying to remind him, hey, Rook, still your first year, buddy. So here's Dak Prescott. He's looking to the right side, and would have been a sack, but he's going to go ahead and fire it over to the left side to Tolbert. But that would have been a sack had it been a live action play, as Jared Verse got in there pretty quick, as well as Byron Young.
Jared Verse is so fast off the ball. I mean, when you talk about earlier in 101s, he kind of manhandled Chuma Edoga earlier. So, I mean, they line him up anywhere, and I think that this team is going to be very dangerous when you talk about a guy like that.
Yeah, Jared Verse, originally out of Florida State. First college was the University of Albany up in New York. It's a really cool story there for Verse to be able to make his way to not only being a first-round draft pick, but having the opportunity to start here in his first season for the Rams. Looking at the Cowboys again, Dak Prescott now in the backfield with Ezekiel Elliott. And it's going to be a handoff to the right side. Verse got in there quick again, but Ezekiel Elliott was able to find some space over to the right side and create some action. The running back started the day creating some hype around this crowd. It was not only Ezekiel Elliott, it was also Rico Dowdle who was able to find some space in the first team drill between these two sides earlier today in practice.
Let's go, Zeke. Let's go, Zeke.
It's now Rico Dowdle in the backfield. And it's going to be a play action. Dak booted over to his right side. He finds John Stevens Jr. for the reception, as Troy Reeder was there once again.
We always talk about how important pass protection is for the tight ends, right? And that was Luke Schoonmaker and Jake Ferguson really in on that extra protection on the right side. Really key in making that happen.
Excuse me, that was Christian Roseboom who was there right on John Stevens after he made the reception. Dak Prescott with the hard count. Rico Dowdle moves to his left side. Here's Prescott looking to that left side. He's going to try to find Dowdle, and it's incomplete. Couldn't quite find the ball. Dowdle turned around a little bit too late, and the rookie safety, Cameron Kitchens. And now here's a fight. We got guys jumping on top of each other.
Got hands
and
thrown.
Now starting to boil over just a little bit harder.
Hey, it's too early. Not yet.
A lot of pushing and shoving in going on there. See some punches here on the right side being thrown. That's Tyron Billy Johnson in the middle of it. And now the two sides getting separated. You see John Stevens Jr. throwing some words. What did you see initiate that, Nicole?
Woo, I saw Jared Verse in there initiate that, and I saw Awesome Richards kind of get in a little bit chirpy with him, but it was really all the offensive line that swarmed over there, and everybody else just kind of joined. Hey, but this is competition, man. This is where it matters.
Yeah, competition. It does get intense out here. And it's starting to hype up the crowd behind us. You kind of feel that energy building. The coaching staff probably hoping it dies down a little bit.
It's not going to happen.
The New York Giants and Detroit Lions made some headlines earlier in the week for fights at their joint practices. Both franchises were fined $200,000 for those exchanges. Here's Dak Prescott trying to find something underneath to Ezekiel Elliott, but can't find it.
I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of still impressed with Awesome Richards. I mean, he had a rough start to today's practice, but the way that he's been able to hold up his blocks just now in that play, it's impressing me as time goes on.
Awesome Richards, the 5th-round draft pick out of the University of North Carolina back in 2023, heading into his second season, looking to find a role where he can get on the field, whether that be as a rotational left tackle guy or maybe some potential special teams opportunities. Here's Malik Davis, and he's immediately blown up in the backfield. Couldn't quite find any action. The Rams' defensive line is starting to stack some confident reps here as we power on with the day. That was Elias Neal who was able to come in from the second level and make that play. On the offensive line from left to right, Earl Bostic Jr., Dakota Shepley. We also see Cooper Beebe in there, Josh Ball, and Matt Waletzko. John Stevens Jr. on the field as a tight end to Bostic's left. And Trey Lance here in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to Snoop Connor to the right side. Connor just trying to find a little bit of room.
Shout out to Cooper Beebe, though, with that snap. It's something that he's really been struggling with over the past couple of weeks here in camp, but you see that his confidence is growing. You're seeing that he's not thinking so much about it, so you love to see that, especially from a guy like him.
And just about making it natural. That's the big thing for Cooper Beebe, offensive line coach Mike Solari, and everybody else who's involved with that center decision. Here's Trey Lance again. He's going to hand off once again to Nathaniel Pete, the undrafted free agent running back out of the University of Missouri. He took a big hit but was able to squeeze away from it. It looked to be 2 RPO opportunities there for Trey Lance, and he handed the ball off both times. So really good decisions, not trying to force anything, and Lance was able to make that happen. And that's all here for Training Camp Live here at the Rams and Cowboys joint practice. We'll be back tomorrow on Friday. The Cowboys have one more practice before they hit the field at SoFi Stadium on Sunday for the official beginning of preseason. Football is here. For Nicole Hutchison, I am Nick Harris. Training Camp Live. Thank you for watching.